When a man cannot be shamed to change his MGTOW mindset, they try to get him to silently walk away. And why is that? Well, because one man going his own way is not something to fear. You know what I mean? No change really is going to come from that. You know, the only change that's going to happen there is from an individual point. However, the fear comes when the ideology starts to spread.
Hello, MGTOW. Neo, I believe here. What you just heard was a video clip from a fellow MGTOW by the name of MGTOW. And he's talking about the power of the MGTOW ideology spreading, but more so the fear that women, feminists, and society have towards this spreading of MGTOW's ideology. Which brings me to a topic I've wanted to touch bases on for the past couple months now. So, as most of us know, the term manspreading was added to the Oxford Online Dictionary sometime at the end of August 2015. Funny how all the anti-male shaming language is published as legit wording, no matter how childish it sounds. I mean, manspreading. Yet a word that means the hatred against men, this word is misandry, this word still triggers the spell check in both the internet and, Microsoft Word. So this manspreading, this blatantly misandric word that describes men taking up more than one seat on public transportation, this is recognized by the Oxford Dictionary. Their definition is, and I quote, manspreading, the practice whereby a man, especially one traveling on public transport, adopts a sitting position with his legs wide apart in such a way as to encroach on an adjacent seat or seats. We first heard about manspreading in early 2015 when the MTA Transit Authority in New York City started an ad campaign against men who were apparently spreading their legs too wide for feminized societal comfort and occupying 2 seats per person. Allegedly, 2 men in the greater New York City area were arrested on the train for manspreading. Now, I'm not going to get into the fact that women can just as easily take up too much space on the train, or rather, woman-spreading, if you will, or that even children or service dogs, for that matter, could easily do the same thing. What's alarming is that New York City was only the beginning of the obnoxious attack against men. In cities such as Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and Seattle, Washington, are anxious to soon follow suit with their crackdown of those pesky men and their illegal being comfortable in public ways. However, let's take a look at the hidden misandric plot beneath the surface. If we break down the mere word manspreading, we get the precise ideology of something we are all familiar with. The very philosophy of men going their own way. Now, don't think so much of the physical image of manspreading, with a man displaying his groin while practically doing the splits in all his glory, but manspreading as in man, males. Not just males. Any Homo sapien with a Y chromosome can be a male, but it takes a red pillar to be a man. An independent male is more than just a male, he's a man. A conscious male, more than a male, he's a man. A spiritually elect male, a lone wolf who rejects the vast majority. A courageous male with a heart to swim against the current. That is a man. A mere male can be controlled, programmed, coerced into the blue pill masses. And we see it all the time with pussy beggars, white knights, manginas, beta orbiters, social justice warriors of the male kind, married males. A male possesses no threat to the evil gynocentric machine. Not at all. But a man cannot be controlled. He cannot be programmed. He cannot be coerced into the blue pill. A man is the last bastion in the universe that shakes the evil gynocentric machine to its core. A man at the peak of his potential defies all laws and rules that the gynocentric system has built an empire on following and abiding by. Man is the image of the Most High Deity. So the inner plot that Western society has in store is to stop man spreading. Now, let's take a look at the second word, spreading. Man spreading. Well, that's an easy one. You think this term has anything to do with a man spreading his legs while he sits on a train? Only on the surface, brothers. This refers to the red pill, or rather, the way it has grown to reach the extents of men all around a wide radius. Yes, the ideology of MGTOW is so attractive that it takes hold of men who are willing to seek it out. The desire for truth and freedom. MGTOW has gained so much traction that people are turning in their male badge in order to embrace the transition from male to man. Men going their own way. I bring up again those Google search results that were on Barbarossa's website, Shedding of the Ego. How MGTOW gained so much popularity in Google search engine results. This is because more and more men are becoming aware that they actually have a choice to abandon hypergamous women, abandon a corrupt government, misandric society, media indoctrination, all of that. This choice to take the red pill is introduced to more and more men as they leave the matrix behind. We are spreading. We men are spreading. We are becoming a threat to a system that requires more blue pillars. Not only is our ideology gaining traction on a global scale, but we are unable to be controlled and programmed because we have escaped the plantation. You know, gynocentrism can tend to its sheeple when all the sheep are in the fence in one place. But the man spreading, is that the men have spread far and wide. The men have physically scattered in various different directions. We've spread so that gynocentrism has no grasp on us. So the Western government is cracking down on manspreading. And now you know this has nothing to do with the metro transportation. Evil tends to work in a specific way, in that it gives a covert and subtle warning to what it's going to do before it even fulfills its plan, before its plan is even executed. And this attempt to stop manspreading is no different. The idea is to influence you and others into basically putting a stop to MGTOW. They're saying, men, stop being individuals. Stop thinking for yourself. Stop convincing other men that their minds are their own. Men, stop being happy and comfortable without a woman telling you what to do. Stop living your lives and get back here to the mind control hub that is the vagina altar. And to that we loudly and proudly say, fuck no. To stop manspreading, the pawns of the blue pill realm must do more than just lurk the subways and throw men in a cage when they dare take up an extra seat. No, to stop manspreading would be to stop the spread of red pill information that is gaining traction worldwide. Truth is, we can't be stopped. We've got the gynocentric powers that be shaking in their ivory towers. And I speak for a lot of MGTOW when I say that I will continue to manspread and serve red pills to those willing to become MGTOW men, until our numbers spread even wider, until there is no more breath in my lungs. Join me, fellow MGTOWs, as we set the gynocracy aflame in its own fear of our ideology. Let us manspread. Thank you, and believe.
when a man cannot be shamed to change his MGTOW mindset, they try to get him to silently walk away. And why is that? Well, because one man going his own way is not something to fear. You know what I mean? No change really is going to come from that. You know, the only change that's going to happen there is from an individual point. However, the fear comes when the ideology starts to spread.